Assessment literacy is becoming a cornerstone for student success in higher education. But what does it really mean? In today's academic world, students face a variety of assessment types, from traditional exams to group projects and presentations. Without a solid understanding of assessment principles, students may struggle to adapt and showcase their true abilities. This video explores why assessment literacy is essential, not just for achieving higher grades, but for developing lifelong learning skills and confidence. We'll break down the theory, practical strategies, and the real-world benefits of mastering assessment literacy, setting the stage for your academic and professional journey. Start with the basics. What is assessment literacy? At its core, assessment literacy is the ability to understand the purposes, processes, and requirements of academic assessments. It's more than just knowing how to take a test. It's about interpreting criteria, using feedback, and adapting to different formats. This skill set empowers students to identify what's expected, engage meaningfully with tasks, and use assessments as tools for growth. Whether you're writing essays or creating infographics, assessment literacy helps you navigate the academic landscape with confidence and clarity. Assessment literacy isn't developed in isolation. Drawing from constructivist theory, learning is seen as an active process shaped by social interactions and cultural practices. Students build their understanding of assessments through experiences with peers and educators. This means that your background, previous schooling, and even informal conversations all influence how you interpret and respond to assessment tasks. Recognizing this, educators are encouraged to foster collaborative and reflective environments where students can co-construct their understanding of what good assessment looks like. Assessment literacy is built on three main pillars: understanding the purposes of assessment, knowing the processes involved, and practicing self-evaluation. First, students need to grasp why assessments are used, whether for grading, feedback, or diagnosing learning needs. Next, they must understand the processes, such as interpreting marking criteria and submitting work with academic integrity. Finally, students should have opportunities to judge their own work, learning to identify strengths and areas for improvement. These components work together to create a comprehensive skill set for academic success. Assessments serve multiple functions in higher education. They can be formative, helping you learn and improve; summative, measuring your achievement; or diagnostic, identifying your strengths and weaknesses. It's important to recognize that these purposes often overlap and sometimes even conflict. For example, a single assignment might be used both to grade your work and to provide feedback for future improvement. By understanding the different purposes, you can approach each assessment with the right mindset and strategy. To succeed, students must be able to interpret assessment criteria, understand requirements, and meet performance expectations. This involves knowing how different types of assessments, like essays, presentations, or reports, are structured and what is expected for each. It's also about managing deadlines, maintaining academic integrity, and producing work that aligns with the standards set by your institution. Mastering these processes takes practice and guidance, but it's a critical part of becoming assessment literate. Feedback is a central element of assessment literacy. It's not just about receiving comments on your work, it's about learning how to interpret and use that feedback to improve. Effective feedback highlights your strengths, points out areas for growth, and offers actionable suggestions. Students who engage with feedback, reflect on it, and apply it to future tasks are more likely to see continuous improvement in their academic performance. Remember, feedback is a tool for learning, not just a judgment of your abilities. Assessment literacy goes hand in hand with self-regulated learning. When you understand assessment criteria and expectations, you can set clear goals, plan your study strategies, and monitor your progress. This metacognitive approach helps you become a more independent and effective learner. You'll learn to evaluate your own work, identify areas for improvement, and adjust your strategies accordingly. These skills are not only valuable for university, but are essential for lifelong learning and career success. Assessment literacy nurtures intellectual curiosity and engagement. When students see assessments as opportunities for growth rather than just hurdles, they become more motivated to explore new ideas and deepen their understanding. Tasks that encourage inquiry, experimentation, and reflection help students develop a genuine enthusiasm for learning. This mindset not only enhances academic performance, but also prepares students to tackle challenges beyond the classroom. Key benefit of assessment literacy is the development of a growth mindset, the belief that abilities can be improved through effort and learning. Students who view assessments as chances to learn, rather than as final judgments, are more likely to embrace challenges and persist through setbacks. By using feedback constructively and seeing mistakes as opportunities, students build resilience and a commitment to continuous improvement, both academically and personally. Assessment literacy also sharpens critical thinking and problem-solving skills. By engaging with diverse assessment tasks, students learn to analyze information, evaluate evidence, and draw reasoned conclusions. Over time, this leads to deeper understanding and the ability to apply knowledge in new contexts. These skills are highly valued in both academic and professional settings, making assessment literacy a vital part of your educational toolkit. So how can students and educators work together to build assessment literacy? It starts with a constructively aligned curriculum, where assessments are closely linked to learning objectives. Educators should provide clear rubrics, exemplars, and explicit briefs, making expectations transparent. Opportunities for feedback dialogue, peer assessment, and experiential learning are also crucial. By embedding these strategies into the curriculum, universities can support students in becoming confident, assessment-literate learners. Despite its importance, developing assessment literacy isn't always easy. Students may face unclear criteria, hidden expectations, or anxiety about failure. Limited exposure to diverse assessment methods can also be a barrier. Educators play a key role in addressing these challenges by making criteria explicit, providing supportive feedback, and creating inclusive environments. By working together, students and staff can overcome obstacles and ensure everyone has the opportunity to succeed. One common challenge is that students often don't act on feedback, seeing it as assignment-specific rather than a tool for ongoing improvement. To change this, educators should encourage students to reflect on feedback, connect it to future tasks, and see it as part of their personal development. Tailoring feedback to different student groups and stages can make it more meaningful and actionable, helping everyone get the most out of the assessment process. Truly support student success, assessment literacy must be embedded at the program level, not just as an add-on. This means integrating explicit instruction, collaborative activities, and reflective practices throughout the curriculum. By doing so, universities can create environments where students are empowered to understand, engage with, and master assessment practices, preparing them for academic achievement and lifelong learning.